Heritage. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I'm going to be making as many videos as I possibly can today because my schedule is just over the chain. I don't have time for much. So when I get in these moods where I feel like I want to talk to you and I want to reach out to you, I just got to take it for what it is and just go hard or go home because I want to have that fellowship with you. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you have subscribed and watched. I teach about the church and ministries using social media. If you get contained in this thought process that you got to have 1,000 members and you got to have 1,000 likes and you got to have all these things, that takes away from the focus of what you're trying to do. It affects your motivation. And my motivation has always been to uplift women and to uplift those that are having desires and yearnings in their heart to do something more than what they're doing now. And that's the goal. And when I see people tweet me, which you can do so on Twitter, you can follow me. My name is at OurHolyArmour, and they ask me questions and they say that my blog has inspired them and they watched the video and they shared it with their family. It really blesses me and I'm thankful to God for that, and I'm thankful to you for watching and continuing to watch and to share. It's so nice. I appreciate it. So today I want to talk about, I'm doing daily devotionals on my blog, and I just started it. The Lord put it on my heart, and it's really challenging because I'm forcing myself to write something every single day. However, it hasn't been hard to write. It's just been a challenge to get myself in a spot to write and then post and then put it out there. I have these daily devotionals, and one of them was from a question I got off of Twitter. Okay, at Our Holy Armor, I want to be a cook, but I can't do it well. People love my cooking and tell me I should open a diner, but I don't know. I cook for my family and friends, but I don't trust myself enough to take it any further. I don't have the finances either. It's just a dream of mine. And then my response was, well, if you aren't willing to submit to it, then you don't deserve it. And that's what I wanted to talk today is about, can you be trusted? We get these gifts and we get these ideas in our brain. We feel that it comes from us. We feel that it's something that we desire and something that we dream of and something that we want to happen. But in reality, it's not really us. It's only used about 5% of our brains, and our ability to predict and to foresee something being better than where we are right now is considered a dream or a vision. And when we are released with a dream or a vision, it's from God. And we have to take it for what it is. We can't hold on to it and say, this is mine. Oh, I'm going to birth this. This is going to be my legacy. You have no idea what your legacy is going to be. And when we take these dreams that we have so personal, it can be a hindrance because then we think about what we can do, how much can we spend, how much are we going to be able to devote our time to it. And we kind of short circuit what God is trying to do in our lives because we take the focus off of the giver and we put it upon the receiver, which is us, and we feel like we have to carry the burden. And that's not so. I put a picture on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Our Holy Armor. And I said that nobody's going to believe in your dream because your dream is your dream. It belongs to you. It was released to you. You have to make people believe your dream. When I said I wanted to have a ministry and I wanted women to be restored to holiness and righteousness, nobody understood what that was or what that means. And people are still coming into the knowledge of what I'm trying to say, myself included, because I am the woman that I'm seeking to save. So I'm constantly going through the motions myself on how to be righteous and how to be holy. It's me. And whatever God does to pull me out, I'm able to do the same for other women. But when I was first talking about that, you couldn't get anyone to even understand what that means. Women being holy, it's so out of the ordinary right now for a woman to even have proper etiquette, let alone be holy. So when God is releasing something into your spirit that you want to believe and birth in your life, it's yours only to the point that you have to understand that nobody else is going to necessarily stand in agreement with you to push you to do what you're trying to do, because it was released to you. And your opportunity comes in your obedience. When you're obedient to God and you're obedient to the gift, then God is able to give you more. It's just like the man with the talent. God gives us talent, He gives us knowledge and wisdom and understanding to birth the things that we feel in our spirit. And we have to double them and multiply them so that we can acquire more of what God is calling us to come into, so we can build this thing. Because it's not going to build itself. It's going to take effort and diligence and discipleship, and it's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to take finances. It's going to take knowledge. It's going to take education. It's going to take a lot of things. But God is so faithful, and He is a provider. He's going to give you what it is that you need to succeed. And we got to understand that we have to submit to it. Like the man was saying, well, my family likes my cooking, but I don't think I'm a good cook. The number one thing you got to do is, when God releases a dream onto you or a vision onto you, you got to believe it. You got to know that it's capable. You got to know that you are able. You got to know that God is going to give you strength in your weakness, and that God is going to provide, and that God is going to open doors for you to get this thing done. You have to be the first believer of your dream. And you can't downplay what you have to offer. You can't say that you want to cook, but you're not a good cook. If you feel that you want to cook and you're not a good cook, you got to put yourself in a position where you can become a better cook. Even the best chefs in the world continuously study and put themselves in situations where they can become better. And that takes diligence. That becomes belief in your ability to do better. And all of these things are all trying to get you to the point of release. Comes the full manifestation of the vision is released, and then He adds on to it. Years go by and you're able to purchase a building, and then more years go by and you're able to network with people in other nations and other cities, and it begins to grow. And then at that point, you're harvesting the dream. You're building it. You're pruning back. You're doing what you need to do so that it can grow. You're seeking God so that God can give you instruction on what to do next constantly. So it can be very frustrating when you're first beginning, because you can't see how it's going to happen. And that's where faith comes into play, because faith says that I'm not required to see it to believe it. Faith is saying that I'm going to step out on it and I'm going to do these things that God is calling me to do, because I know that He is able and not necessarily me. So we have to have that faith. And I was listening to Oprah on 2020. They interviewed her and they were talking about her school. And she was saying like how it was so challenging. She had all these things up against her, but the one thing that she decided to focus in on was the girls graduating. And that just really affected me in a very positive way, and then also in a negative way, because I felt like we don't necessarily do that. We don't necessarily have that much experience and wisdom, but we always are looking at the bottom line. We want to look at the budget right now. We want to see if we have enough capital now. We want to see if we have enough people now. And it takes a lot of faith to look beyond what we're doing now, what we're trying to accomplish now, to the goal. But the wonderful thing about it is that the goal is always the vision. The goal is always the dream. So if we keep our mind concentrated on the dream and the vision and nothing else, we are able to get closer and closer to it if we have faith and trust in God. My vision for my ministry, even though I do a lot of other things, is that one day I can look at myself and I can look at thousands of women behind me that are standing on holiness, that are raising their young girls to be holy, that are teaching their young boys and their young daughters to be righteous. That's the vision that I have for myself and for Kingdom Heritage. And a lot of other things may birth itself in the process, but that's the vision. And if I look at the things that I see every day, that I come in contact with every day, it would make me get so distraught that I wouldn't be able to take another step. I am not a big TV watcher. I'm a reader. I listen to music. That's like what I do. I like nature, so I do a lot of hikes and stuff like that. I like that. I don't watch TV. But when I do watch TV, I am almost frightened by what I see on TV. And to think that this is normal, to think that people getting 90 surgeries, see women getting fought on the bus, that big thing that just went viral, and to see these young girls fighting in clubs and women, they got so much makeup on their face, you don't even see who they are. You don't even know what they really look like behind all of that. And it's frustrating and it's saddening. But those sorts of things can do one or two things. They can depress you and they can make you stop and doubt what God can do or doubt what you can do in the process. Or they can just push you into propelling to go harder, to grind harder, to get your word out there harder, to touch more women, to share your testimony, to do more. You can't do that if you doubt the vision. You can't do that if you doubt God. You can't do that if you feel that it's all about you and that the burden for you to birth this thing in the earth is on you. It's not. You have to be faithful over the little things that God has given you so that He can reward you with more so you can do more of what He's calling you to do. Somebody put a post on Facebook and they was talking about money and how it's the root of all evil. Love of money is the root of all evil. But the last thing that he said is that we just passing through. We're on earth for a limited time. We're only here for a small period of time. And we got to look at those things that are ahead, not think about the things that are behind. We have to concentrate on Jesus and on heaven and on what we're called to do. And that level of focus is what is going to get those things birthed in your life. Focus. Focus on God. Focus on His Word. Focus on the dreams and the visions that He constantly gives us. Focus on the positive things about yourself, the beautiful things about yourself. Focus on what you need to do to prepare yourself to become stronger, to become wiser, to become more educated. All of these things. If you're not willing to do these things, you don't deserve it. Because with the gift comes a blessing. With the vision and the dream comes a destiny. And those things are greater than your eyes or your ears or your heart have ever perceived. You can't even fathom what God can do in your life. But if you're not willing to submit to it, you don't deserve it. I have people come to my office all the time. They want me to counsel them. They want me to help them with their ministry. And the first thing that I look for is if you're passionate about what you are called to do. If you're passionate and you believe in yourself enough that you can do it, that you know that God has entrusted you with something and that He's going to bring it to pass through you. A lot of people don't have that, and a lot of people attempt to fake it. But that's something that you can't fake. Because the thing about a dream and the thing about a vision is that it's eternal, it's spirit, and it's light. So when God releases that into you, it's almost like He's releasing a part of His divinity in you. That sort of thing you cannot contain. You can't contain well. It's something that you're going to consistently get bright eyed about. You consistently want to speak about. You consistently want to tell others about how you're so frustrated about how it is and how it could be. That's like a yearning, that's a thirsting that the word speaks about, a seeking, a knocking, a asking, these sort of things. Those are only people that deserve what God has in store for them. So you can be one or two people. God has released a dream or a vision to you, and you can say, I can't do it. I don't have the finances. I'm not good enough. Nobody in my family has ever done it. I tried 3 years ago and it didn't work. You could be one of those people and you can have what you say, which will be nothing. Or you can be one of those people that decides to grasp hold to what God has given them, believe God, believe that God is able, have enough faith to walk out, even though you're stumbling and you in the dark and you don't have the money and you don't have the finances and you don't know the people and you don't have the connections, but God, who is more than able. Having that mindset is going to be able to push you forward towards your destiny. And those are the only people that deserve it. And I want to let you know, in Jesus' name, you deserve it. You deserve to be a part of the kingdom. You deserve to have that feeling and that thing that's in your heart that you can't contain to be birthed. You deserve the blessing that comes with obedience and discipleship. You deserve those things, and so does your family, and so does future generations. So don't be discouraged. Don't doubt God. If you have a vision, start working on it. If you have a dream, start speaking it. If you have something in your spirit, start going towards it, start moving towards it. And don't think about where you are. Think about where you're trying to get to. Keep your mind set on the kingdom, on God and the vision, and God will bring it to pass. In Jesus' name, thank you so much for watching. Share this message with another individual that you know and love. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are below. And always, I'm so thankful to God that He's given me this opportunity to speak with you. Bye. I can take the pressure, Lord, you deliver me.